Committee to order, and I'm glad y'all are here at 4 o'clock. And we moved our time because Senator Tippins had an education meeting in the Senate earlier. Heard some of our House bills, and we're just going to do whatever we could to help him. He did. Was it what Chairman Dickey did? He passed lots of great bills.
He's very accommodating.
Very accommodating. Well, we're very accommodating too, Chairman Tippins, and we'd love for you to come, if you will, right there on the end. He has House Bill 186. It's in your folder. A Senate bill, excuse me. Sorry, he gave me the glaring eye right then. But if we go ahead, Senator Tippins, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, thank y'all for hearing the bill today. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you accommodating my schedule. This bill arose from a need, if y'all will recall, when we passed Senate Bill 2, it allowed for a student to take 9 specified courses in high school, and typically it occurs between their sophomore and junior year. Then they can go and enroll in technical college, they can enroll in the university system, and if they receive a diploma, licensure, or 2 certifications under TCSG, they will have been deemed to have fulfilled the graduation requirements to receive a high school diploma. Everything went well. I mean, I think people were happy about kids being able to accelerate their entry into the work world, and I think the students were excited about it because they were studying in areas that they had interest. The glitch on this came, and we talk about a seamlessness between high school and TCSG and USG and whatever the education process is that people go to. They may change their minds, but over a period of time, I think people go and maybe even get a licensure from TCSG, and over a period of time they say, my goodness, I want to go to TCSG and I want to get an associate's degree, or then we may want to go back to in USG and get a bachelor's degree. There has been a kind of a malfunction, maybe not anticipating this issue, but when they would make the transition from the TCSG, let me get my term right. I don't want to be misquoting. Under the Hope Grant for the non-academic coursework, that's paid one way. The academic coursework is paid through the Hope Scholarship. Because these students would not have met the preparation requirements of student finance and the guidelines that we have for the Hope Scholarship, they would have to perform 30 hours. Pretty much is just a test period. This bill anticipates when a student has gone, if they were only enrolled in SB2 and went to technical college, took non-academic courses, they could receive a diploma from TCSG. But to pursue an associate's degree at TCSG, there was an hour gappage in there because those academic courses couldn't be paid. This allows, and this is the language in this was drafted by the governor's office in conjunction with Georgia Student Finance, and y'all's desires as well to make a smooth transition if people change gears and decide to go ahead and further their education. This allows for the covering of up to 30 hours of gap between the hour requirement for the diploma and what it would be to get an associate's degree. Typically that's only a 15-hour gap in there. But because Hope Scholarship guidelines require that 30 hours, if there is a glitch somewhere, we've got 30 hours that can be put toward an associate's degree. That's what this is about. I mean, there's no backstory to it. This just untangles an unintended consequence in Senate Bill 2.
Chairman Tibbetts, I just had one question. How many students is this affecting right now? Is it growing?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have that number.
Okay.
I mean, we could probably get it from TCSG. But when we talk about making an education a seamless process, this is a glitch in the seamless process. Not the bill, but the bill fixes the glitch in that.
Oh, yes, sir. I was just curious that our,
I think there are about 27 students that are in the SB2 program currently. Out of that, it's hard to say who would choose to pursue an associate's path.
yes, 27. Thank you. You have a question? Who's 3? Ms. Representative Gardner right here.
So just a follow-up question on that. Did you get an estimate or some kind of a fiscal note to show what this would cost? I know when Stacey Evans was here with her bill, we had a fiscal note. It was more extensive than this, but.
Right.
So you think 27 students currently, and maybe it'll encourage more kids to get an associate's degree, which is a good thing.
Well, I think the problem that we got into is when people opt to be an SB2 student, and then they decide to go ahead and further their education. That's when they get caught in a glitch.
And just, Representative also talked with Student Finance Chris Green. He'd be here, but he is under the flu, and so he's not.
We know about that flu.
So I said, stay home. We don't need you.
What did he tell you?
And he is they are very comfortable with this,
Okay.
built into what they're doing. They're very comfortable.
This is not a deal that I've worked out. I think the governor's office, in conjunction with Georgia Student Finance, this bill passed, or this provision passed last year and was vetoed because it was not clearly understood. I mean, it's a little bit in the weeds to get to it, but I mean, there's no hidden agenda on this. This is helping those kids to make that transition to continue. We do.
Yeah,
I wanna hear from
Representative
TCS.
Gasaway, or is it?
It's me,
I mean,
but I want to
Carter.
hear from TCSG first, whenever we can.
Our dear friends from TCSG, Chairman Carter said she'd like to hear from you.
Well, I want a scenario. I'm confused
Okay.
about how this
would
works.
be someone who would pursue the route of SB2 that was passed in 2015. And then they would go on, so because they chose that route, they're missing about 15 hours more than likely of coursework to be able to pursue their associate's degree and then their bachelor's degree. And so what this would do would get the HOPE grant to cover those courses as well, 30 hours worth of coursework, so that they could then go on to obtain the HOPE scholarship.
Is this pre-graduation? So, are you saying that if a child does this for junior and senior year, and still has 15 hours left, but graduates from high school, is this 15 additional hours
Yes,
after
ma'am.
the student? So, can't they already do that? Why?
This would now cover their associate's degree prerequisite courses under HOPE grant.
But isn't that already the case?
No, ma'am.
So we just don't want these hours to count against their HOPE cap. Is that what we're saying?
I believe that's correct, yes. So there's the gap there between the SB2 finishing that and then the associates. And so this will cover those courses in between there without causing them to count against the student.
Why?
So there's
okay.
now a gap between their SB2 and their ability to obtain the HOPE scholarship.
Why are they ineligible to receive those hours after they graduate currently?
They're eligible, but not to be covered by HOPE, the HOPE grant.
Why not? If they're
The
Georgia's
HOPE grant doesn't
resident,
cover the associate's courses
HOPE grant does not cover associate's courses.
currently.
Okay. I thought it did. Sorry, my error. Who said I thought it did too?
That was my understanding, was the impetus here was that we would get Now Hope grant to cover these associate's degree prerequisite courses.
Does Hope Grant currently have a cap? I thought it did.
It does. It does. And the checkpoints are different as well, but, so this is just filling in the gap there between the SB2 so that they would now be eligible to take these courses and then qualify for Hope Scholarship.
I'm not opposed. I just still don't understand why we're doing this. I'm still struggling with if the student is eligible, why are we having to make this exception? But maybe I need
It's
George
because
student
it's
finance.
because the SB2 courses that are taken, they may not have, let's say, like an English course, or because it's that alternative path.
Right.
And
the
so in order
certifications.
to qualify to be eligible to obtain that next degree, they have to take these prerequisite courses so that they're caught up to where another student might be. And so this would have the Hope Grant cover those courses.
Okay,
And Chairman Carter, I'll be glad to get Chris
that'd be great.
to get with you and make sure, 'cause it is complex. I mean, I know we all
Sure.
know that. I think Representative Kelly is next.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's a great bill, and I know it's going to help with a little expansion for some students to make sure they're eligible to get their degree and move forward in life. And I don't so much have a question. I was just going to tell you at the appropriate time, I'm ready to make a motion.
We'll check back with you in just a moment. Ms. Gardner, beside you, has a question.
So what I was trying to understand is pretty much what Representative Carter was talking about. If you're getting a certificate in auto mechanics or something, you may not take the basic requirements that you would need to get an associate's degree. Is that the?
Diploma and certification.
I think it's the
Yeah.
difference between the certification and a diploma.
Correct.
You don't have to take the same courses to get
There's
certified.
There's a different curriculum.
Yeah, your core classes with a diploma
I
and
think-
not with a certificate.
I think that's probably what, so you start out in a certificate program and then you say, wow, I can do more than this. So we do want to encourage them to.
Sure.
Yeah, anyway.
That's like the chairman said, just creates that seamless move on
Makes
up if
good
they choose
sense.
to. My banker here says it's like gap financing. Is that what you? Oh, all right.
Sorry, I relapse every now and then.
Any other committee members have a question for the bill sponsor or TCSC? I'll recognize Representative Kelly.
Motion do pass.
Have a second? All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. And I think Chairman Nix is going to carry that for you, Mr. Chairman. Great. Good luck. Well, thank you for, appreciate you.
Consideration and accommodation on the time.
You bet. And thanks for all of our folks out and out for being there. Thank you, committee.